Oh, I'm back again live. Although nobody's watching right now, but they will. But somebody will be. You do get a little count right there. You can see how many people are on your screen, like how
Yes.
many people are watching. And it has a little like an
Mm-hmm.
eyeball and a little counter in there.
It's got a little eye. It's maroon. Right now it says 0.
So sometimes I think that it's not counting the people that are watching on Facebook, and I know a lot of people probably watch on Facebook after we're up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like after we've been up, whatever. But yeah.
Well, it is Friday, and we usually do this on Thursday. The Thursday hang has been postponed. It's still a Thursday style hang, just happens to be Friday.
That's right. I can
And
see you at
Horatio should be coming in. He should be coming in at any moment.
you should be. Pull up some
We
people.
had to go without him last time for a while. He was here and then he wasn't here,
All right, that's right.
and we
If we'd have
got
been here,
comments.
we'd have been here yesterday. We'd have been on air during the whole Elon Musk Trump fight. I don't know if I'd have picked it up because a lot of times I'm not picking stuff up on the internet. Although I guess I kind of picked up on that early because it was happening like
They're
soon after
probably
I
they
got
you
up.
know it's just keeping everybody's eye off the ball. I was doing a bunch of stuff on the computer today, and I had MSNBC on, in the background with the sound off, and they
Uh
did
huh.
not deviate. They did not deviate from that story one iota. They're sticking with the Trump Musk fight all day, all
Oh
day.
yeah, definitely yeah. Well,
What a
you want viewers, don't you?
useless.
You want people to watch.
Gosh.
Um. All
No, they're
right.
still doing all the same nonsense. They're just having a little bicker. Trump Trump will back down from anything,
Right.
anytime. It's all show. It's all bluster, bullshit.
It looks like you got you. Horatio, because you got yourself muted. Oh,
Is Raj coming in?
he's in here now. He's muted for
Oh,
some
good.
reason. Right there. Can't let him.
Comments last
There
week
he
was,
Yep.
is.
"See, you two are really great and charming, but boy, you need Horatio back.
What's that?
Boy, something's missing." Roger, they complained because Jerry and I carried on without you last week, and complaints were registered.
Well, it can get pretty sleepy, you know. It can get pretty sleepy, but in the back end of it,
Especially with me around. Yep.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like that last 30 minutes of SNL. You might get something weird,
yeah,
but usually, it might be funny, but usually it's like, yeah, we're kind of running out of steam now. He just wants to go home.
right, yeah.
It's almost
At
1
that
o'clock in
I
the
moment,
used to
morning.
get
at,
I used to get furious when they would give the musical guest a third number. I'd be like, "What? I want more comedy." I stuck around for that extra sketch. Instead, I got to listen to another Tina Turner song, and Tina Turner's fabulous, but I don't want her to do three numbers.
Yeah, sometimes that's
Tina
saving
Turner
him.
did 3 number. Well, she's kind of big deal at the time.
This was the Dick
But
Ebersol years.
yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. They can guarantee you two. I think. I guess probably heavy
Yeah.
hitters are like, I'm doing two or nothing.
Yeah, was she the host
Sometimes one.
and the musical guest? Because that can happen
Oh,
too.
that may have been the case
Yeah.
back in the Martin Short season. She
Yeah.
even did Ned Grimley scene. I remember her doing the Grimley dance.
Tina Turner did.
Mm. They didn't Grimley her up though. They did not turn her into one of the Grimley clan.
I'm not putting on
Yeah.
that wig. It's ridiculous.
But
And
But
you
I
ain't
will be
beat
in
my
the
ass
sketch.
either. You ain't beat my ass anymore. That don't happen anymore.
I don't do what men says no more. So I will not be putting on that wig. I was telling Delaney that if we'd have been on yesterday, we'd have been on right in the middle of that the Trump Musk fight.
Elon scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting good. Is it
Yep.
continuing today?
No, I think it all kind of stopped when it stopped when he said you're on he's on the Epstein list. It was just like, that's it.
Yeah, he said he did. Trump responded with like, "Well, the bill is great." He didn't mention like
Oh,
that. He
right. No,
didn't
he
go,
didn't say
"I
that.
wasn't
No.
on Epstein Island," because he can't.
Mhm.
So he's like, we're still looking forward to passing this bill, the great bill,
Well, anyway. Ah,
and that was
poor
it. Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Well, they probably said, "Fucking look, you can't kill the guy, so you gotta better take it to stop."
Just everybody stop.
Yeah.
I like that his the stocks for his cars took a tumble. I think that's pretty great.
Everybody made that bet,
100
right?
100 billion versus 100 billion worth of value supposedly, but he's
Yeah.
got 800, right? 800 million.
Yeah, he
Jesus.
still has the most money in the world.
Billion.
Is a thousand billion a trillion, or is it 100? I think it's 100 billion or a trillion, right?
I think I thought it was 1,000 billion is a trillion. It may be 100. It may be
Oh,
100.
It's
I don't
probably
know.
1,000.
I don't know.
Probably 1,000.
A
Well, it's
thousand billion.
1,000
So if he
million.
gets 200 more, so if he gets like 400,000 more, then that's a billion. He's a trillionaire.
Trillionaire?
I don't think we're
Maybe it's
gonna have our first
1,000. No,
trillionaire.
I think it's
Yeah, right. It must be
1,000.
1,000 million.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody's close to a trillion. That's like debt kind of numbers.
What's a gazillion?
It would be too stressful to have $1 billion.
have to ask Jed on the
I'd be
Beverly
stressed out
Hillbillies.
all the time.
It wouldn't be that hard on you, Delaney, to be a billionaire.
It would. If I was Jed
First off,
Clampett, if I was
think
Jed
of the
Clampett,
first
I
thing you
would
do
shoot.
to fix the world.
If I was a billionaire,
Yeah.
I'd make electric cars.
Oh man, I would feed the hungries.
Oh, I should have said that. No, I was
I'd
joking
buy
about
everybody a house. Every single adult a house.
All right, here's the first
Everybody
thing
gets
I'd
a
do.
house.
If I had $1 billion, if
Yep.
I had $1 billion, I would buy everyone a rake and a broom, so they wouldn't have to
Clean
use.
up and make everybody clean up.
So they wouldn't have to. No, just so they wouldn't have to use
Yeah.
air blowers anymore.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I'd
being
buy
polite.
100,000. I'd buy
Issue a
100,000
rake.
Bentleys and then not just spray paint. Get a job on the side of them.
I hate air blowers that much that I would blow my fortune just so everyone would use rakes instead.
It would be great if the richest man in the world did have an actual sense of humor. He would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But never
You know, like
do.
buy a bar
No,
a plate of bacon. Like buy everybody in a bar bacon.
Because only construction between 11 and 1 p.m.
Raj, I like that when you broadcast from the car, it's got to be a moving vehicle. It's got a real L with it.
Well, I'm trying to find a good perch where I can see
Oh, I jinxed it.
show you too.
Yeah, are you just like are you
You
circling?
ruined it. No,
Yeah, you did ruin it, Delaney.
Yep,
I'm actually
yep. You need
now.
to hit a. You need a
I'm
hot
now.
spot.
Right now, I'm pulling into. I'm losing it.
No,
It
you
looks
did
like
lose
you're
it
at
for
the
a
wheat
second,
place.
but
Are
it
you
came.
at the
It
herbal
Okay, yeah.
place?
All right. Let me get back. I'm gonna go to where the fake cell trees are, or the fake trees, but they're cell
Oh,
Yes.
things.
those trees.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we have those.
So if I don't get good reception there, I won't get good reception anywhere.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, so far it's been pretty good.
I think it's because my car serves as an antenna. You know, like
You get
you
Wi-Fi
suck
in your
up
car.
more internet in the sky. You know, like they don't want the cell services don't want you not having service in your car, so they kind of maybe give you more than you get at home.
Well,
Well, for me at least.
you got a pretty good antenna in your car. Yeah, If it's connected to your phone, yeah, you probably have a really good antenna up there.
And I bought it used from Chernobyl. It was around during the Chernobyl times. So it's got very good service. Something about it has very good service. There must be something in the
Oh,
radiation.
get reception from space in this thing. I don't know.
Well, the brain is loaded with electrical activity, and there's all these theories that the brain is not just for thought, it's also a kind of a receptor, the way a radio is a receptor with its little antenna. A little radio antenna can do a lot, picked up a lot. And they say that the electrical charge in the brain, the way the brain's constructed, it may well be this kind of receptor.
What's up, Joaquin?
So we're getting signals
You guys ever heard
like
that?
from are we getting signals from a more a better
I think we're
Advanced-
getting
group of
from
aliens
each other.
Advanced,
We're getting
advanced
from
life
each
forms.
other, each other's
or just each
brains,
other?
and possibly
Oh,
could be
each
the
other.
brains of other
That's
beings.
not as fun. I wanted
not-
like
it's
super
not.
genius beings from the future sending back information like, "Hey guys, stop fucking with the water. You're gonna be dead. I know how this ends."
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have that thought of like, well, I'm old now. The world's going to shit, but I'm old now, so it's not for you. You guys have kids that have to be living
Yeah.
this shit, but
That's
I
the main
often
thing.
sometimes feel like, just blow it up, man. Just blow this whole thing up,
It
man.
still bums me out.
Yeah, I think if you have kids
Bums
and
me out to see
it's different. You want them to,
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people are trying to do is you're trying to get them a good life and
Yeah.
a better opportunities than maybe you had in life. That's increasingly harder, but I don't know. Not for me, but I mean for a
Yeah,
lot
but
of people.
he's got two good parents, so he'll
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, you can't worry about it too much. It does give you like a little perspective about the whole world, but you do want to put productive people. Delaney was just saying it.
Oh
His son
no.
he got a new job.
Oh no.
He got his dream job. That's what you want your kids to be like.
Hello.
Oh, he can't see us. You're on though. You're on air. If you didn't know. He can't see us. Oh, now he's frozen. And how are you, Delaney? Oh, he's back though.
Coming back. I faded for a minute, but I'm coming back.
So that wasn't a good spot?
No, I'm right under it too.
It did seem like it was. It seemed like it was really good. It was
Anyway.
really clear. The
Raj-
picture was really clear.
Raj, you found a spot
looks like
that
a
was so bad that it even booted me off for a minute.
Yeah, it froze you up. But now we're okay. So this is good now.
Yeah.
We'll try to find the tree.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's hard to drive and then do bits too. You got to be careful.
Right? Yeah. If you get in an accident, it'd be a great TV.
Yeah, it'd be a good episode.
Right. Good TV, as they say.
All right, I'm parking sideways right underneath the trees. All right, how's that?
The police
good.
love that.
Right?
They love when I park sideways.
Well, I'm
straddling
all the way at the
spots.
end though. See, I'm all the way.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you're not
I'm right
suspicious.
there,
Not
see?
suspicious at all.
I'm very
Yeah, no.
suspicious, but it's the only way to get shade on 80%. I mean, and that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to park behind those office complexes, and they have the shade. They have shades built over the parking spots, and then that's when I cut out.
I get it.
That's the
I
premium.
think maybe
though.
Driving around's all
Those
right.
Those Las Vegas parking spots with the canopy over the top are definitely premium. You don't want to go in there blast while you're blasting one.
Like when you used to get your treatments, Delaney, a situation like
Mm-hmm.
that, right?
We never
Like they all
parked
had to
there
cover
though.
their parking lots. I did when I picked you up.
Oh,
You
maybe you
don't, you
did.
don't
Well,
remember
it
anything, bro.
was like it was 125 degrees. It was so hot.
It's
125
95
degrees.
today.
It was 123
95,
the day I
really?
got there last year.
Yeah,
So
95 right now in my car. So is my car.
I thought it was. I thought it'd been cool there. I was watching somebody in Vegas the other day, and they said that the weather had been kind of cool because it's been cool kind of here in L.A. and Southern California.
Well, a couple days ago, it seemed like it was going to rain, but it hasn't really been cool. I mean, cool
Oh,
compared to 120. Last year was
right.
117, I think,
Yeah,
was
it
the
is June.
highest.
It is summer,
That
so it
was
should
rough.
be 117.
It was
Jesus.
August
Yeah.
though. It was August. It was in
Uh,
August,
yeah. No, so
not
far it's been
June.
like kind of a cool summer in Southern California. Like it's been 70. I went to the baseball game a couple days ago. It was a Dodgers game.
Did they win?
No, they lost. Her son was really pissed off. First time
Sad?
he went to a Dodgers game.
Uh,
Yeah, he's a big Dodgers
Oh,
fan.
he was
Uh,
disappointed.
yeah.
Sports is heartbreak, and he's got to learn.
Well, they're playing the
Mm-hmm.
Mets right now, and the Mets are pretty good.
Yeah, Mets are really good. Mets swept the
Are
Cubs.
they?
yeah, yeah,
All
Yeah,
right.
and the Yankees are
yeah.
great always.
Yankees are good too.
It's,
They were
it's
just here too.
Cubs have the best record in the National League.
Right now, the
Yeah,
Tigers have
right now. Yeah, I'm not
Tiger
thinking it's
Yeah, it's a
Tigers
lot
have
of
right. They're playing
the
it's a
today.
lot of it's a lot of reversal of fortune in baseball.
yeah. I think this year you're seeing a lot of the teams that were good that people thought would be good starting out the year strong, and all the best teams are just like the same teams every year, and it seems like for the last 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, it does seem like that a lot.
Yeah,
A lot of
whoever
spots.
has the biggest purse gets the
Mm-hmm.
best players at the trade deadline.
The dough.
Yeah, yeah. They all well now
So
they're like there's the what like there's 5, 6 teams that are all like pretty good, and they're all like right around the trade. Like who's gonna get the player that makes the difference?
yeah, and everybody else starts selling, and it's like
Yeah,
I
they don't
don't like
care.
it. It's my least favorite part about baseball is the money part because the Pirates are always going to give away. They're going to. I know they luckily they kept their one great pitcher, but they're not going to have anybody else, and the guy's probably
Right.
not going to. He probably could have been better served going to some big team, but it's pretty cool that he stayed in Pittsburgh. But other than that, the people leave. They'll leave. Who wants to play in Colorado? Who wants to play in Miami? Those
Yeah.
teams are like farm teams.
Yeah, I know. No, they all want to go to New York or LA or yeah.
Like you could
Yep.
literally count the people in like 10 seconds, like how many people are at, White Sox games, sometimes.
The White
I don't know
Sox
if it's
suck.
getting better now or what.
Well, they're
They had like
terrible.
20 people. Like when it was cold, they had like 20 people in the whole stadium. Like
Yeah. So,
maybe there were 30 or 100 inside having coffee and beer. I don't know, but there was like 20 fucking people out there.
well, yeah, no, everybody's complaining about that.
Wow.
I mean, White Sox, I think, are just like a lot of other teams like now. That people just aren't. They're not. It's not like the Cubs. People aren't going to go if they're not winning. They're just not.
Exactly, yeah. And their owner doesn't want to like really spend. He's the same guy that owned the Bulls.
Yeah, he's not going
I
to
don't know
like
if he still does. He's
like the
not going
people
to spend too much
teams
money.
like I guess San Diego's owner died, but he put a lot into the stadium, made it really like family friendly. There's like there's a playground in the stadium and stuff. So even if they're not winning, it's still a great thing. But he also spends on the team, like um, and then some of them are just like White Sox are just making money. They don't. I don't
Well,
even know what
like
they're
the
doing.
the Dodgers, well, the Dodgers obviously,
Well, they
you know,
spend money.
market, great market, but the Mets are also a good market, but their owner's like a tech weirdo millionaire,
Now, yeah.
billionaire probably. So it's like
Really?
now he doesn't care. He's just a billionaire, so he's just like, no, pay him if you want to get. Guy wants 700 million, give it to him.
Yeah, that's the
They have
silly money
caps,
that
though.
that's a lot of silly money in sports now where they're just like, oh, I own the team now.
Yeah.
I'll get all the like the dude that like bought the Phoenix Suns and like I'll just get Kevin Durant and I'll get all those other players. Like, I don't think you really know what you're doing, but they'll just spend money like crazy.
Yeah,
That's what LA always does. LA just gets as many stars as they can get and just chucks them together and don't worry about
Well,
chemistry.
LA always can in every sport. I mean, except football. But they always can attract the best free agent. They're always gonna have the money. People always show up to
who doesn't
games.
want to live in LA? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's that too. You want to live in New York if you're
Yeah.
a real stud of a sports person. You don't want to live. You don't want to play in. No offense, Jerry, but Michigan. I don't know why I picked that as the worst state. It's not. Michigan's very nice. Even Detroit is a very nice place.
Oh, I think people can deal with any place like that because you can get to New York or LA pretty quickly. But when you're in like Oklahoma or something like that or Utah, that's when it's shitty.
Yeah. That's when you got to build a compound, and your wife and your wife's sisters and everybody has to live in the same neighborhood because you're going to leave her. You're leaving your wife alone half the year.
Oh,
You
no,
gotta
a
have some.
compound.
Well, from what
Like
I
Ali
understand,
used to set up.
they don't do that anymore now. I mean, they'll have a house in whatever town they live in, but during the off season, they're all here. They're all in LA.
Yeah, I'll have houses out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Vegas.
am I still on?
Oh yeah, you're definitely
Yeah,
on.
Raj, did you get routed out of your parking spots?
No, I just didn't like it.
What is that?
I was just feeling that. Oh, now it's off.
No, it's on.
God damn it. Oh, okay. All right. What's up with comedy, you guys? Any news on comedy?
I was gonna show this thing where Joe Rogan had this guy on, this mentalist who guessed his PIN code, his ATM PIN.
Uh-huh.
And he was
Something
mad. He was
dumb.
just like, I don't like that because they sent that to me in the mail. I'm like, you use the same PIN code they send you in the mail? You didn't change that? and you better have changed it now. But the guy just
But
like
did you
went
see Howard's? A guy went on they had a mentalist on Howard Stern, and Howard Stern had a secret word that Valerie Harper told him. Valerie Harper said, he said, can you send me a sign, a word, after you're dead to see if the afterlife is real? And she said, okay, I'll do it. And then they agreed on the word. And now 5 years later, this mentalist came in. He just asks questions, sees your face, sees how they react, and can guess all this shit. Then he actually picked the word. And Howard was like, what the fuck? What the hell just happened here?
Really?
That
Yeah.
always happens. Those people are really good at doing that stuff. And if people think that it's always like a scam or something, or they have the information. Sometimes they do, the people on stage. But there's a lot of techniques that they can use to like do that kind of stuff.
Did you
A
guys
simple
see the
one is
movie?
if you say pick a number from 1 to 10. I'm sorry. Simple one is if you pick a number from 1 to 10 and you ask them like pick a number
4.
and the person takes their
Shit,
time.
I said it.
I was gonna say what are the least popular numbers? You'd think right away you want to be quick. You're like 2, 9, right? Or 1 or 10. I don't know. Would you go in the middle?
Right.
But I think
It's
he'll
usually three. I
ask
think
you,
it's 3.
and if you take too much time, then he's like, it's not like 7. It's got to be, probably 4. But you said 4, so I'm not a mentalist. But you could read the
What?
people's faces, like, and how long it takes for them to to answer these clues, like what they're thinking about. What the other there's there were like 3 people there, so the other people were answering questions too. And very impressive.
I saw this movie where John Malkovich played a mentalist, and he was a complete asshole, but he was very good. And at the end of the movie, they start giving it up for Kreskin. You guys remember the amazing Kreskin? And they're like, yeah, this
Yeah.
whole thing was based on Kreskin, and thanks to the Kreskin Foundation. It's like, wait, why did you paint him as a complete asshole?
He was.
I didn't know that. Was Kreskin a bad guy?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He was probably like well, there's that other guy, like the other debunker. I think his name is Blackstone.
He was bogus. Kreskin was a mentalist.
Randy.
He wasn't trying to. Oh, the amazing Randy was a debunker. Yes, I thought you were talking about Yuri. That guy Yuri
Geller.
was the spoon bender who
Yuri
got
Geller.
busted on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Yuri Geller. I think Johnny's like, well, we have some spoons that we brought in, and maybe you could bend these. And he didn't like that. He came up with some nonsense that there was a bad vibe now suddenly.
So what? There's like a magic spoon where you press the middle and it gets floppy?
Yeah, I think it's got to be the right kind of spoon. God, blessed are the spoon benders. I think that's what Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount. I love a mentalist, but I don't want to go to a live mentalist show and watch people go up on stage and act like a chicken.
There's other people like Darren Brown, and I recommend all of his stuff. Like his stuff is like really good, and he really explains what he's doing, how he's influencing people. I can. You want me to, okay.
That's kind of similar to Amazing Randy. Kind of walking
Yeah,
through it.
I mean, I don't know if he's definitely like as upfront as he should be, but he does explain like he explains more of what he's doing, and yeah, but a lot of mentalists do too, you know.
Penn and Teller used to do that stuff.
Okay,
like
I'm gonna you guys keep talking. I'm gonna close my window for my camera for a minute, but I'll be able to hear you.
Okay.
Penn and Teller used to do old like a classic magician's bit, but where there's like different closets, you know, where Teller is going to transport from one box to another, and he slides underneath. But they have them. The boxes are made of clear plexiglass, so you see.
Oh, so you can see. Yeah, you can see what they're doing. I don't know. I mean, I kind of don't like when they explain the tricks. But they still do them, so I mean, it must not really affect the whole product.
I know there's something weird about that. Do you remember when Penn and Teller, I think, did a water trick where Teller was put in a tank of water, and I think he almost died. I think it was on SNL, and it didn't go.
So did he do the Houdini trick?
I think it might have been that or something like it. It was another time they did a cool bit where they're hanging upside down. That was the hook. That old routine. Where you're upside down, but the camera's flipped, so it looks like you're right side up, defying gravity a lot.
I don't know. The best magic trick you ever did was when you were floating around and on stage, and it looked like you were in space. You were in the window of the theater, of the backdrop.
Of course.
And
yes, of course.
You had your helmet on. The helmet helped, and you were like floating in space. It was a very nice trick.
Yeah, we just said we did the old for the cosmonaut outfits. We went and bought painters' costumes. You know, the painter's suit, where it's just a big white.
Yeah.
And then put the thing over the head. So just your face is sticking out. Yeah, that was a good special effect. That came to me in a vision of how Dave and I, because I did this scene, we were doing an improv scene where we were weightless. Once in a while, we'd do these weightless scenes, and it was so fun. And it was fun to respect weightlessness, and if no one stops you, just have to keep rotating. So yeah, I figured out a way to do it on stage where none of the seams would show. Um, that was a good. That was more of a theatrical trick than a magic trick. We did do a show where we were magicians, and we had a rule that we wouldn't do
What
any
year
bad
was that?
magic.
Jerry's asking what year it is that you did the cosmonaut
Probably
show.
that. Oh, that was like '99.
Are you eating ice cubes?
No, I'm eating lifesavers. I always eat lifesavers when I'm at treatment. But I'm getting down to the bottom, and there's nothing
Only
left but green
greens?
ones. Yeah, I'm down to the green.
Oh no.
It's always the dregs. What happened to Jerry? Did his
Yeah, those
lights
are
come
my.
out?
Jerry said no. Jerry said that he has to get out the he has to restart the camera, but that he can hear us. And then he just sent a message. I saw it flickering across the screen. It said what year was
Oh
that?
yeah, the ticker tape, the
And
crawl.
that was some fun. And that was some fun ass shit. Dwyer, you were directing Dwyer, doing shows. It was just so much fun. All the crazy shit that was going on.
That show I did with David sparked a spate of two-person shows. Everybody started doing two-person shows. Um, and they told me later that it was inspired by Maroon. They were like, "Oh, you can do that. You can do a whole a full on sketch show with just two people." I think Joe Wenger did one with Neil Casey called "Your Favorite Thing." I don't think it had
Yeah.
anything to do with us, but Patty and Betsy did a two-person show. So did Donna Fineglass and Danielle Schneider. They did one called
So
Eye
did Tina
Candy.
and that kind of solidified Rachel getting into cast because Rachel Dratch and Tina were doing a two-person sketch show at UCB as well.
I house managed for that show. What was their two-person show called? I can't remember. It was Dratch and Faye. That's what it was. It was just called Dratch and Faye.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's when I think Dratch was already on. Maybe neither one of them. Maybe they both did it to get
No,
on
she was
SNL
no. I
to showcase
remember it was like
themselves.
it was a last minute kind of like let's do this show and then they could see you doing your best work for Rachel
Yeah.
because Rachel
Oh, it
auditioned
was
with
for
me and didn't
Rachel.
make it.
Okay. And Jeff
She
directed it.
auditioned. Did he? Well, it was very good because
He did.
they were basically doing that at main stage before they got hired. So uh, they never did a two-person show, but they were on main stage together for a few years.
They did a bit where they were the two-headed country singer. Remember those conjoined
Yeah,
twins? And one of
yeah,
them
they're
wanted to
still
be in
around.
country. Are they?
Yeah, I managed two sets of conjoined twins.
I'm sure you do.
Darcy and Edward Harvey.
Oh,
Um,
a male-female team.
that's right. They
It's
do
very rare.
they do they do each other, but let's not. It's just
Oh my goodness.
they, they share one
Good
chest.
Lord. No, I don't want to think about that one. Poor Ang and
No,
Chang.
there are.
The guys that you remember Ang and Chang from the Ripley's Believe It or Not books? They were the guys that's why they call them Siamese twins, because these guys were from Siam. And they were just connected by
Yes,
this
I do.
artery. If they were born today, they would have been separated immediately, and it would have been just a footnote at most.
They had an extension cord holding them together.
Exactly. It was a single artery extension cord right on their chest, and nobody wanted to operate on them. just left them be.
So
Of
they were
course, one of them
connected
was
like this, right? Like one was here, like the head, right?
they
Two
always had,
chests.
they just stood side by side because they were connected by that cable, by that coaxial cable.
Yeah.
And of course, Ang and Chang. And one of them was a raging alcoholic, and the other one was a teetotaler.
Yeah. There's a set of twins out now conjoined. One and they're and one of them's gay and has a relationship.
That's fair.
So the non-gay one the non-gay one just has to put like a towel over his head, just go to sleep. Try to. Like the one guy is like, yeah, let's do it, honey. And then the other guy's like, fuck this, man.
Give me the towel. Where's
All
my
right,
towel?
put on some music. But they're used to that because they have to use the bathroom together. So there's no
Yep.
boundaries.
Right.
Can't have them
Voting.
anyway.
What about the voting booth? Oh, look,
They
Jerry's
have to make a
commenting.
special one.
Jerry says it's great.
It's
We don't know
great.
what he's talking about, though.
You must be
It's out
talking
of
about
context.
the year
Might be talking about
2013.
the soda. Maybe he's talking about the soda pop he ran out to get.
No, I don't think so.
The straight one has
Well,
to
we'll
watch.
find out. Now people are going to complain that where's Jerry?
Jerry's commenting
Well,
on
Jerry's coming back.
he's commenting on your conjoined twins bit.
Oh, the straight one has to watch. He was talking about the gay conjoined twins. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you could put
That's life.
maybe the straight
That's
one.
life in
The
the
straight one has to put like a
topsy-turvy
dog
world.
cone over his. I'm sure the guy just puts on like a ski a ski mask. He puts on a ski mask backwards, and then wears noise canceling headphones.
And puts and then lay in a vibrating bed. Just to create another distraction.
So what does the straight one think about when he's laying on the bed?
You remember when you thought a vibrating bed was awesome? The first time you went to a hotel with a vibrating bed? You're like, oh, great. And you realize it's just
Jerry's
loud
saying
and
that
awful.
awesome show, stars of Diddy freak offs, like a show
So is
like
that us?
Freak Off Island, with all survivors of Diddy.
So Jerry's calling for a reality show with the Diddy
I mean, I don't know.
freaks?
I'm just interpreting these messages he's sending
Very cryptic.
as they go, and then I have to get close to the
You got to
literally
decide what the
reading it.
secret word is, Raj. You and Jerry got to come up with the secret word in case one of you passes, and you'll know.
He said the twins. The twins. He was referring to the twins.
Hey, look,
What were you saying about the twins?
Look, Jerry's got his plane in the back of the room logo up with his comments. Isn't that fancy? Isn't that integrated?
It is fancy for us, yes. Not for him so much. I think people are doing that normally.
No, not for Jerry.
See,
It's
this is our
fancy
first.
for me and you.
This is the first foray, the first foray into self-broadcasting.
Well, no, Jerry's
Maybe
got
we
his
should
other
try
bigger, better show.
try an Instagram Live, maybe.
Should we?
Oh, and we're gonna get probably like 12 audience members, 12 fans watching.
So we had movie night last week. I got my family to join in for a movie, and they said, "Oh yeah, what movie are we going to watch?" And I said the thing no family does not, no family wants to hear. when they find out what the movie is. And I said, it's Coneheads. And they had to really be sold. But, once we started watching Coneheads, everybody loved it. It was a big
Yeah.
hit with the whole family. All generations liked it. Yes, because it's a wonderful movie. This came up, I think, in this podcast a little while ago. Someone asked about y'all's favorite SNL movies. And we never got to me because I wasn't on SNL. But I got to give it up for the Coneheads as being a most underrated SNL character movie because it's
I
fabulous.
think Stewart
It's got
saves
the
his
whole.
family.
It's a very good one. I don't think it's better than Coneheads,
Yeah.
but the Conehead movie has that whole cast from
Something
that
about
era in it.
Conan's. I don't know. Something about Conan's I didn't like.
You're saying Conans? You mean Coneheads? I didn't. I didn't adore the Coneheads when I was a kid. Back in the day, I thought the Coneheads was just going to be a bunch of weirdness, which it was. It was just super weird. But the movie's good. The movie's got its act together, and it's also got Phil Hartman, John Lovitz, Kevin Nealon, Jan Hooks. It's got Spade's got a good role. Mike McKeon's got a great role as
All the goodies are there. Yeah.
the agent.
Sandler,
Yeah,
everybody.
right. Sandler's in there.
Chris Farley.
Anyway, of course, it's actually vintage Farley.
Yeah, that was very sweet. I guess
So
I liked it. I
recommend it.
didn't dislike it. I just didn't. I
It
got a lot of
holds up.
movies on my to-do list.
Do you? I've run out. I've had to start going to foreign films. I've seen all the American
Have you
movies
seen
I want to see.
Saturday Night, Sunday Morning?
Saturday night, Sunday morning? No. I
Yeah.
saw Saturday night.
It's Albert Finney.
Oh.
Someone said it was really good, and I was like, oh, sounds interesting.
Well, I'm a
and I
huge
haven't watched
Finney
it yet,
fan.
but so I'll buy these movies for like whatever they cost, and I'll put them in my Amazon. And then when I'm feeling right.
Raj, what year was
66.
Saturday night, Sunday morning? Oh, it's an oldie.
66 or 68, yeah.
No, I haven't seen that. Well, they cast him in all these leading man roles, and he got involved in all these smarmy romances, and that's probably what made him turn his back on Hollywood. He said, "Screw this! I'm not doing these anymore. I'm going back to England, be a real actor." But then
Who
came
turned
to
their back
Hollywood.
on who, darling?
No, I think Albert turned his back on Hollywood. Yeah.
Are you
darling?
sure, darling? Darling, I
You're
think
saying that
he may have had
you're saying
a
that
little
Hollywood?
too much to drink.
You say Hollywood sent Albert Finney packing?
Yeah,
No.
that's how it
I think
is. No one
he
leaves.
wanted. No, he missed the stage, Raj. He missed Mama Theater. He missed treading the boards.
Oh,
It was the pines. He pined for the pines.
I thought
He
those
had
guys didn't care about theater anymore. All they cared about was booze.
They thought that was part of it. Because one of them,
Yeah,
there was one of
I
them. I
did
think it was
too.
O'Toole or somebody. It was the first big one, and he was such a drunk that like Michael Caine and the other guys who came later thought that's how it was done, and so they all became drunks.
Oh, okay.
It,
I mean,
it, it, it,
that's how we were raised. Actually, we were raised like, yeah, drink and party, improv. That's how they do it.
yeah,
That's how they've been doing it. There's not been
yeah, I know.
it's a at IO in Chicago. There was never a nice, kind, everybody sober cast. Even the nice people were drinking, And then after
Yeah,
Belushi, I think everybody was just like, fuck it. I think you got to party and have a good time. And then Belushi died, and they're like, well, maybe we don't have to have a good time.
just ease up a little on the snow.
Well, I told you,
Um,
like, I was like, why is the food, like, why is there so much, like, carrots and, like, I'm not that I don't mind a carrot and celery every once in a while, but the snacks at SNL were getting healthier and healthier, and it was like, they had a year in the old days where 8 guys had, like, heart attacks. 4 of them died. So, like, we
oh
can't have,
no,
I think
She
they
was
just
just all
had any
Danishes?
kind of fucking sausages, sausages and peppers, hot dogs, whatever. And
Donuts.
so yeah, they made a that's what I hear. They made a decision like just make the food a little healthier because it's obviously that probably costs you a lot of money to have your employees dying.
Yeah, you don't want them dropping from heart attacks. The crew.
But
The
now
crew is not
there's
always
ice
the
cream.
healthiest looking.
There's ice cream.
Still got ice cream 8 o'clock over there, I'll bet.
A lot of people probably don't know, but at Saturday Night Live we would have our dinner break between like 6 and 8, like 6. And Jerry knows this. We'd have our food in the commissary, so you could just regular food. Pretty much. You could even order like your own situation. But I guess this was before then that you had the food, I guess, in the, in those hallways.
I got
Maybe
to
I'm
tag
wrong.
along many of those SNL dinners. I got to tag along when I was doing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
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 And can you see me?
Yeah, you're in the playroom.
Yeah, I'm in my kids' room. The only thing is
There
I
you
can
go.
hear you. I can hear you, all that stuff. I just can't see you. So, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, not
Fuck,
much
I'll
to
take
look
off
at.
my Napoleon hat. We were about to do some fun Napoleon sketches.
And I thought it looked pretty good. You
That
can't
guy
see
with
too
the
much of
food was
my
pretty good.
my kids' room in here.
You look real black though.
You need a little light on you, Jerry.
Oh, come
Jerry,
on,
you got to
come
find
on.
your light.
Come on. All right, I'll get a little
Jerry,
light.
have
Hold
someone throw a spot on you.
You're more you're dark like someone invading someone's home. It looks like because the back, it looks like you've just happed upon someone's bedroom in the middle of the night.
I'm podcasting from my neighbor's house. He doesn't know I'm here.
How cool is this?
Look
Jerry?
at that first basketball. Rod,
What are you
see
doing
that
here?
basketball there?
Yeah?
That's
kill him.
baby's first basketball because it can hit you right in the face. And it doesn't
Is that you, Jerry? Shut up! And everybody watches me murder
What the hell are you
somebody.
doing here, man?
Shut your fucking mouth! Let me do my fucking podcast! Ah! Ah!
Jerry,
you gotta pitch. You gotta pitch. You gotta pitch. What's the Freak Off Island?
Freak out. Yeah, I was just saying that wasn't funny. I was just saying that the twins were the stars of Titty's Freak Offs. But if you haven't been following the trial, don't worry about it.
Well, they were probably invited.
Yes.
They were probably invited
Yeah.
to Epstein Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
everybody
idea of
was
me
in-
going and breaking into somebody's house to do this podcast, though. My neighbor's house.
I like that you guys
I'm just-
psychically know that I do not watch the Diddy trial.
Yeah, nobody's watching that shit.
Oh, good.
Not decent.
I didn't
people.
watch the OJ
I know-
thing either. But
I know
the
that,
OJ
that if
thing
I
you
would
could
have
not
been
escape
tempted,
from.
if I had been tempted to go to Epstein Island,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't think I would have
Where
done
do you live?
anything. I don't think I would have done anything because
Wouldn't you have thought?
I've been offered prostitutes, and I was like, no, thank you. Like people are
I'm not
like
gonna
at a club in Vegas.
Never gonna take a
this
prostitute
guy's
as a gift. No thanks.
yeah, no, and the look on their face too was like, what am I doing here? It wasn't like, honey, it's gonna be fun. No, it was like, hi, some
Oh, no.
East European accent.
Oh, so Raj, when these women were presented to you, they like they didn't talk to you about it first. They like presented you first with the girl, and then you had to decline in their face.
Yes, they didn't present it.
That's terrible.
That the woman had to be rejected.
But they thought, hey, this guy, he's a partier. He's from SNL. He probably does coke. He's probably gonna have a great time. I'll show him.
Yeah.
I'll have one of the girls give him a blowjob.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Or whatever. Oh, that was the weirdest thing in the world to me. Like, no.
I'm not taking that. No. I don't know what you're gonna do. Yeah. Like, blackmail
like
me.
the guilt of that too. Like, what do I do? Tip? I got a free prostitute?
And what do you do if somebody comes to you like later on? Like, how you pay them back? Like, hey man, you took that blowjob. Now you gotta kill somebody for me too. What?
Yeah, no.
Like you start dealing with that kind of shit. Like,
right. So no, what happens is the guy calls you and he's like, "Hey, do you have 2 front row tickets to SNL with Jim Carrey hosting?"
Of course.
No.
Hey
whatever
man,
biggest band in the world.
You took that fucking blowjob with no problem. Now you don't know me.
He can't
Cindy was crying after that shit, man. She didn't like doing that.
She was. I didn't want to do it, man.
Yeah, well, you did, dude. So I'll be looking for those tickets, bro.
Jim Carrey.
Is it true? She said that there might be cameras. Is that true? That there was cameras that time? For me at the hotel? When I had my fake freak off. Just to be clear, this is a fake freak off I had that didn't happen. It was offered. It was almost a freak off. Diddy had nothing to do with it. Luckily, Diddy didn't have a kind of crush on any SNL guys or anything, so we never.
No.
No one ever knew. No
yeah,
one ever
even
got
though
to
he was
see
in New
those
York,
parties.
but he wasn't. No, yeah, I really didn't know because I would have definitely wanted to see. So I'm glad.
I was thinking, it's like, yeah, I'm surprised no one from SNL ever got invited to Epstein Island. And Tracy's like, I went there twice.
Okay.
Getting all my stuff all sucked on.
Sure.
Oh, Tracy, please.
Let me call you back because I'm podcasting with Raj and Jerry right now.
2 times.
No Epstein Island, no freak offs. That's what I'm going to put on my t-shirt.
No Epstein Island, no free cops. Never did it. Hey.
No free prostitutes.
Woo, got it. Woo, yay.
Wow, my car just turned off.
Wow, auto turn off.
Yeah, anybody that offers you a prostitute is automatically a freak, a piece of shit in my eyes.
I mean, these people live a certain, this is like a lot of people live this freaky lifestyle that I'm not a part of. And people think that people really do now. This is the sad thing. People really do believe that we're all freaks, like Pizzagate.
Yeah, or just like.
But there are people that do that, and it's not cool. We don't want to do it, but we're like, fine, go ahead. Everyone's
right.
We're liberal that way, not like molest kids, obviously. But I'm saying like people that party like crazy.
Sure.
Or or swingers or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, but it's not. I don't know what they think that we're like all watching child porn stuff.
I think it's secretly that people think that, oh well, you're getting all the sex that you want, right? So at some point you must just be going crazy, right? Because if I was doing it, I would be getting all the sex. This is what they think. I would be doing everything that I fucking imagined in my work, in their life. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. You might, and also people are doing everything imaginable out there.
So someone will be with you, but it's not the person you really, probably the best for you.
Yeah, well, I think people are. The fact is that people are doing a lot of shit out there, and they just don't have the money to be able to do whatever they want. But if they did, they would. So,
yeah, sure they would.
But yeah, I used to think that too. Of like, where are the orgies and shit? Like, no, people aren't doing that. Doing that shit.
What were people doing at the Playboy Mansion? I didn't go. You were the only one that. You knew you.
I've been a couple times. Yeah. The first time I went, people were in the grotto like topless and shit. There was a dude like that. This is the thing though. So like it was like the grotto. People were lined up against the wall, and there are like playmates walking around, and there were like a lot of playmates walking around that were painted, like they had body paint on, but they were like basically naked, but they had body paint on. And there was a ton of them walking around.
Yeah.
He always does that. Like there's a bunch of playmates walking around. And it was also
Breast paint.
yeah, and the party was a midsummer's night party, so everybody had to come in lingerie or pajamas anyway. So a lot of the women are in lingerie. A lot of even regular women are in lingerie. And
Okay.
the freakiest stuff was in the grotto with just when people were just topless, and it was one dude with it, like a dude. He was like 60, with the hugest dick in the world, like just walking around with his dick out, with his dick floating in the water, like proud, like with his. He's like this, like with his hands on his. So everybody's just like
an
his head is
like a croc about to attack in the water.
He had big giant dick. He's just standing around, and it was like a circle, of space around him, where like nobody would get too close. The water, Mr. Giant Dick. And that was the only dude. That was the only man that I saw that was naked in there. I think because I got in the water. I like.
His space.
What's that?
Didn't you give him his space?
Hell yeah.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, oh, you can't hear me at all? Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. I can't hear
Okay.
Delaney.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, probably.
Delaney, you got to fix your mic. It's caught in your wool sweater.
I'm sorry.
Your Fat
I always
Albert
wear wool
sweater.
treatment.
You got Fat Albert camera on your phone.
But we'll say Playboy Mansion, no drugs. If any of the guards see anybody doing drugs or any drugs, they tell you that like you can't drive there unless you're like a VIP. One time I did drive there, but most of the time you have to like get a shuttle from somewhere else to the Playboy Mansion. So you can't like bring your own stuff, and you get checked by the by security before you even get on the shuttle. So no drugs at all. And they don't allow, and they'll check you for them. So that's the one thing at the Playboy Mansion. You don't have to worry about anybody overdosing or something like that, or people get
But
drunk.
of course,
but
a lot of people getting drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it open bar there?
I don't feel like it was open. I feel like it was cash bar, but maybe it was open.
That's
It
interesting.
had to be. Oh, it had to be open because it was packed. It was like I couldn't get there. So yeah, it had to be open bar.
Yeah.
Like for a while, like probably for like a few hours, right? And I'm sure they shut it down at a certain time. Because one time I got really drunk. I fell. It was really embarrassing. I fell down in front of a bunch of people on the way out.
Oh, that's not when you fell in the crack of the earth, right?
No, not when I fell in the hole, but yeah, I fell another time.
Oh,
What?
I'm sorry
Was
about
Jerry
that.
swallowed by the earth? Raj, I didn't hear about that.
Jerry went to a party and was leaving or going, and then there was construction, and they dug a deep trench, and he fell like in a trench.
I fell in the trench. Yeah. Yes. A deep trench, like a 6-foot trench, like a grave. I fell in the grave, hit my chin on the way down, and crawled out.
Yeah.
Nobody was around, so I crawled out and then passed out.
Oh, shit. Grave. Oh, you pass out, and then that's when Sherry said Jerry broke his freaking neck?
Yeah. Here, you broke his freaking neck.
Jerry broke his freaking neck.
Oh, my God.
Yo, Holmes.
Yeah, you told me about that. I'm like, oh my God, you're like Peter Sellers in The Party. There's all sorts of shit happening to you.
Well, the best is my agents left. They were like, "Well, what did he take?" And they took off in case I died. They don't want to be there.
That's just like an agent.
Your agents were fun. That one agent was a nice guy. He's really funny. and I got to meet him because he'd always come around. I remember you and I were walking in New York, and we saw him walking towards us with Chris Noth, and he stopped, and you guys just had a pleasant exchange, probably like 3 seconds. Like, yeah, hey, what's going on? What are you doing in town? You want to get together? And he goes like, all right, man, let's go. Chris Noth was yelling at his agent.
Smack
Come
him in the
on,
back
man,
of the head.
let's go.
Come on, man. Number one client.
You're like, Jesus, man. Just saying hi. I mean, I wasn't part of it because I was like standing to the side. I was like, hey, man, I can see, but it was funny. I was like, Jesus, man, take it easy. Mr. Big.
Mr. Big, yeah. There's something to your agent, like your agent seeing another client. One time
what do we know Chris Noth from?
He was Mr. Big on Sex and the
City.
City. Yeah.
Oh, I never watched that.
And I was going to say he died. He died on the show. I don't think he died in real life.
Oh, they killed him. They killed him out. They killed the character.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've heard of Mr.
Yeah,
Big.
he was on.
Couldn't.
And he was on one of those bikes, those electronic, those workout
Yeah.
bikes.
Yeah.
Peloton. He was on a
Peloton,
Peloton
yeah.
and had a heart attack, and Peloton stock went through the toilet. They were huge, and they went right in the fucking toilet. Because Mr. Big died on one of their bikes. They're like, fuck this.
You don't want to die on
I
one of
don't
these
buy that
things?
shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr.
It's
Big
not
was
even
super
real
healthy, tall. Then he
Just got
dies on
married.
this thing?
He just got married on the show too. Tragically.
Oh,
Did you
man.
guys hear? Do you guys know how the inventor of the Segway died?
Yes, I do.
He segued off a
please.
cliff. He literally went off a cliff in a Segway.
Really?
And not on purpose, right?
Not on purpose. It was not. No.
It wasn't a
suicide.
sound like a suicide. I'm going to kill myself on my great invention.
Thelma Louise.
He was
Yeah.
trying out a- Thelma and Louise, they should have been on Segways. They really-
I made the Segway. People kept asking, why isn't it faster? Why isn't it easier to ride? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you.
It was supposed to be a more rugged terrain, more of a terrain-friendly Segway, and he was messing around with it, and no, he flew too close to the sun.
That's
Too
crazy.
close to
That
the
is
sun,
so
that's
wild.
Wow.
Well, you know, he probably had a good souped up one too, because he's the inventor. He could be like, make it go like 40 miles an hour.
Well, that's what happened. They had a souped-up version that he was testing out.
Oh.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, just
Yes,
so we could go over like
That
rocks and
is-
shit.
apparently.
And then that was
Maybe he was
did
trying
that
to
kill
jump-
the idea of
He
the
was trying
mountain
to jump a
Segway?
crevasse.
I was showing my son. He was like, I was telling him about the circus, and he saw a picture of like somebody getting shot out of a cannon. He's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's something they used to do. They used to shoot people out of a cannon." He's like, "What?"
They still do it. It's not. They still do
Well, no.
that.
They started. We found some videos of people doing it. He's like, I was like, still couldn't believe that. He's like, well, how? Why? Why would somebody do that? I'm like, because people like it. People like
Human
seeing
cannonball.
it.
Well, when you also, but when you're a
We
kid,
want our human cannonball.
when you're a kid, at least I thought that there was an explosion in the cannon, and that's what shot you out.
That's what he thought too.
You know, like, yeah. So it is a freaky concept. Like, how does that guy not die? Like, is there like a steel thing behind him that just pushes you out like a bullet, but won't kill you? And it's just like a springy situation, right? They just spring you
I
out.
think
They
it's a
can-
plunger.
No,
It's a
no.
plunger,
His
right?
feet. No, his foot is like it's a cannonball in there. He's on there. He rides it. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
Cling on to the ball.
His feet are on the cannonball in the fucking cannon, and they shoot the cannonball out, and he fucking shoots out. Man, that's how it happens, dude. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
sure.
you gotta-
I watched one. There's an explosion. There's some kind of explosion, but I don't know if that's just for effect.
They make sure
But
there's a poof.
I
They
watched.
want the poof.
I watched the world record holder, and it was pretty crazy. The dude went really far.
Wow.
You guys, I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Dropping like
I'm
flies.
in front of my house.
Oh, he's in front of his house. Sometimes there's... Sometimes, Raj likes to drive a lot, especially he's in LA, loves to go on long drives, and there's sometimes have to be field urinations.
Now, how do I look on camera now? Do I look relaxed? I know I got my chairs behind me, my kids' chairs behind me.
But
All
your
right.
light's better. Your light's better when you come a little closer to the lens. No,
Sure.
you're good. You're perfect there.
That's where the light
You're
is,
gold.
yeah.
You're gold where
The
you
lamp
are.
there.
Yeah. But if you get really loungy, if you really go back there, Drew Barrymore stuff, Libby Wolfson style. Remember Libby Wolfson on SCTV? Her set was like just pillows. It was all throw pillows. You're going Libby Wolfson style on this one.
Yeah.
Nothing but throw pillows. You had to kind of climb into her set. People had to climb on over the pillows.
Oh yeah. This is pretty cool. You could see more of my kids' room. I don't want anybody. I don't know why.
No, you don't need people tracking on your kids' room. We could talk
There's
about
nothing
Roger's
but
interior.
nothing but LeBron James posters and AC/DC. LeBron James is all over.
Those two have always gone together. Oh, Jay, you can't see. You can only hear us. You can't see us.
Yeah,
So
no, I can't see you.
Oh, we got a great shot of the interior of Raj's car.
Oh, somebody picked out 2 bowls last time he was in his car. I have to tell him that.
2 bowls.
So somebody picked out. They picked out. They said he had 2 bowls in his console. Two. I was like,
pipes?
yeah. I was like, yeah. One's for sativa and one's for indica. What do you think?
Yeah. Come on, use your head. No, the fact is, of course, one is the regular pipe and one is the emergency pipe. You gotta have
the glass.
emergency backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're glass.
Also, I smoke
anything
weed.
can happen.
I left it in the car.
Raj, you got outed for having 2.
I'm on my. I broke 2 bongs last week, within a month.
Did you hear?
One, I got.
Did you hear what we were just talking about?
I just heard talking about extra pipes.
Yes.
And I thought maybe, yeah, okay.
One of the viewers
like
picked
having
out
a pipe.
One of the viewers said that you saw that you had 2 pipes in your console, like 2 bowls. And so we were like, of course.
No, it's not. It's not, but it's not. I mean, I might. Actually, I have 2. One, this is my emergency one.
That's what he said.
I told you.
And then this was the one that was in the dash.
That's the standby.
But then this one of my custom lighters was next to it, and you thought it was 2. Like I had 2 going.
Oh, gotcha.
Raj,
So from down here.
Is that the one that looks like a beluga whale when you clean it?
Yeah, the grave. Grave.
That's a standby. That's a standby.
Of course,
It's
I have
good.
2.
It's soft.
One's for
It's
your dirty
smooth.
lips. One's for your dirty lips, and one's for mine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I share.
Nah. We give each other whatever disease we have because it's whatever illness we have because we figured just get it over with. Because you can't just. Because I tried we tried the mask thing with COVID, right? For like a week.
Yeah.
Then or a couple days, and you're like, come on, let's fuck it. Let's get it.
Oh.
Let's get COVID and die.
Yeah, when I went to stay with Raj during COVID, it did last about a day. And then we thought, no, we would hang out mostly outside. If we were in the kitchen, we would put masks on. but then we usually hung
Yeah.
out outside. And then Raj got it, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna stay anyway." And I didn't get it.
You didn't get it. That's right.
No. We managed to, and we had been passing joints for days when he had it.
Just didn't do it at the right time.
No, I was somewhat resistant.
We'd been passing
Surprise.
joints for days.
Don't you know?
The expedition was growing tired. My canteen was almost empty.
What did we do?
We've been passing joints for days, so I was like, we were outside of a freak off just smoking weed.
It was a lot.
For days and days.
Do.
Marathon.
No one had anything to do, so we just marathoned it.
We couldn't
Of
stop.
course.
Oh no! I mean, man, you know the dispensaries went crazy during COVID because I thought they were all gonna go broke, and then they started delivering, and it was insane. Like they told me that they were like making way more money than they ever had. These people just sitting at home.
Yeah,
smoking.
exactly.
The delivery.
Every dispensary will encourage delivery.
Yeah.
They
Good
encourage
move.
delivery. They don't have to hire extra people.
I
You
do
know,
delivery
just have
these
to hire
days.
one.
I've only been to my dispensary once. I just order online. They bring it to me. As long as you get more than an ounce, they'll bring it for free. So what the hell?
In New York, I think that's more popular. The dispensaries out here, I guess, are having a really hard time.
Are they?
Really?
Yeah.
That's stunning.
Are the kids not smoking?
Why?
People just don't want to go to it. Kids don't go to a dispensary at all. It's only old people that go to it now. Kids just buy it legally because there's such a big black market, and legalizing it only made the black market bigger because a certain amount that they produce goes to the dispensaries, but then there's so much more that goes to just people just buying it, or even buying even the products, but they're just buying it off market without tax.
All right, that makes
Well,
sense.
I like going in there because they have different deals. And,
Yeah, you're
and you
a
can do
grown
that
up.
online.
Uh-oh. I lost everybody.
Yo. Hey.
What's up, guys?
All right, I'm back. It's good to be back. Where's Sherry?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
You guys froze up.
Go to bring me back.
Am I back
You had
here?
to pull us
You
from the
hear me? You hear me? You hear me?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
No? You do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Horatio, you there?
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, we lost him. Let me see if I can get him back.
come
Hold
back.
on. All right, I got it.
Let's see. What do we got that's entertaining. There you are. Raj, can you hear me?
Yeah, I ended up losing my video.
Yeah, me too.
It said you can't. Yeah,
What did it say?
All right.
It said,
it said no. I got in a bad area or something. It said you could listen, you could audio do it, but you can't do the video broadcast.
"Oh, that's weird." Yeah, I lost Delaney too at the same time, but you're back now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back, but I don't have my beautiful view anymore because that was a shit spot, I guess. All right. Where'd you go, Jerry?
I was here for the whole time. You guys froze up on me, and I just went back to my computer and got you back on. I'm broadcasting from my computer. I have a camera that I can put in different rooms if I want to, which is pretty cool. I have to make more use of, but if on stuff like this, I can just go in another room while my wife's in there having a emergency meeting.
Emergency.
About what we were talking about the other day?
About that secret thing, yeah.
Movie.
Well, we'll tell
a secret movie.
You know what? Here's one I can't tell people. She's opening the Toxic Avenger this summer.
Oh, cool.
That yeah, it's I guess I can't. Can I say who the star of it is? I guess that's a surprise. It might. No, wait a minute. The trailer's
Better
out.
not.
The trailer's out.
Is that a trauma film? Toxic Avenger. Well, that's some franchise.
Jerry, I mean Delaney. I tried to. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little louder?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay,
Not too
good.
much louder, though.
What's going on over there? Are you having dinner?
Well, oh yeah, okay. So
Family
yeah, I
movies.
can't see it. So the Toxic Avenger is trauma. It is a trauma film, and it is and the star is Peter Dinklage.
Amazing.
Oh.
Good for you. Good for them. Good for her.
If you want to see the trailer is actually like one of the better trailers that I've seen, and it's very trauma. You know, like people know, like like stunts, like somebody throwing a dick at somebody, a severed dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's shit like that in it, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff. The trailer's got a lot of stuff like that in it. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
It's funny how like those things bother people, and how I don't know, something about us. We're kind of just all used to the freak. I guess I don't think Delaney likes murder stuff.
No,
But-
I don't. I used to love it when I was a teenager. I loved it. I was very drawn to it.
But you did that show on Halloween. You're the star of it.
Kilgore.
You fucking
Yeah,
eating people.
Kilgore.
You were fucking eating people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
no,
that's right.
No, I was eating. No.
you got eaten. Yeah, piece by piece. So no, you can't
Yeah,
talk.
I don't want to have to watch it.
You can't fucking no. Get off your high horse, buddy. You're getting eaten.
No, it's
I'm
not.
like Delaney. These people, these 8 people were found, and they still haven't found their heads. I don't need to watch that.
You know what happens? It stays in my brain. Then those negative things, they launch in my brain and they stay there forever. And I don't want them. I don't want those memories.
I get that.
I know that's a healthy thing to do.
I get that.
I don't do it. You know what?
There was this.
You know what I don't like?
Kilgore. You guys remember that scene in Kilgore where Rob Riggle, Chad Carter comes in as a porn star, and they found this dildo prop that was like 4
yes.
feet long. So he has this massive
Yeah.
penis. And then Riggle, every show, tore it off of him.
Tore it off
Beat
him,
him
yeah.
No, Dave,
Just put it.
Dave ripped it off and beat him to death with it. My idea was that he'd be best. I helped with the blocking. I thought it would be best if Chad was behind the couch and David kept hitting him with the wiener.
Yeah.
Chad had a squirter of blood, and he kept squirting it in Dave's face every time he hit him with the wiener.
See, the good old
Owen
fashioned
said-
theater tricks for the kids.
Owen's father, who was a very dignified man, he worked for JFK and all. He came to the show, and Owen said he called him the next afternoon, and he said, "Dad, what'd you think of the show?" And he said, "Owen, to be quite honest, this is the first time I've spoken all day."
That should have been on the flyer.
But people who had never saw the show Kilgore, Matt hasn't done it in a while, has he?
No. It had
No, I
different
think it's
incarnations, you know. It got turned into a musical, and then it kept getting resurrected. They did a version with Zach Woods. They did a version with Anthony Atamanuik. Then there was an L.A. version. Paul F. Tompkins played my role. I was very honored to have Tompkins play a role that I had created. And Andy Daly, I think, played Thornbrush. But no, they let it go after a while. And it was turned into a musical. We got Jeff Richmond to direct the musical version.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I had numbers. I was in it, and I had a number.
Raj took over Riggle's role for the musical version. I keep saying virgin. He played, Raj played Percy Pepper, the pornographer, and he killed it. He really brought the house down with that number.
Yeah, I was like, because when you were talking about beating someone with that dildo, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I think I may have.
I've been
done it,
taking part. I mean, everybody remembers the woman with the mask and being completely naked. That was the big. If I can reveal it, that's why I asked if it was still going.
That was true for me. That was shocking and true horror.
It was.
It's very disturbing.
Guys, one year, the most disturbing thing I've ever seen happen on a stage happened while I was on it. Because the woman who was playing Kilgore had given birth shortly before the show one year. And when she made her big entrance, mostly nude, I think she was nude except for a diaper.
Yes.
She lactated on the audience. Now, they'd already had fake blood splattered all over them, and they had plastic, but they were not prepared. No one prepared them for actual lactation.
Yeah.
There was a particular girl in the crowd the look of horror on her face when it rained on them.
People have to know, because she comes out as like a monster. So if a monster came out and squeezed titty juice on you, you would
right.
like a horror creature came out and like, nah.
Yeah,
she was a monster. She's been set up as this evil monster, but she was just herself. She was just a woman covered with.
Well, I know, but
she was white. She was very. I don't know how to say it. She was skinny. She was like she was not skinny.
Not skinny. No.
The opposite of skinny.
It was not
the opposite of skinny.
It would not be the ideal of what you would think of a nude.
So it's not. Yeah, it's not someone. Yeah. It's not someone kind of attractive or anything. I'm sorry to say, she's attractive to somebody. She got pregnant.
Yeah. But it was a disturbing image. Well, she had a mask, but the image was disturbing. The mask and the nudity, along with it, it was very.
The lights were lower. It was just kind of a reddish light because she's coming from hell or something.
Right.
She's a creature from hell.
I remember Walsh's face. I remember Walsh's face after the first performance because Al Bell came out and made it different than anyone expected, and Walsh was just going, "Oh my God! Oh, what did we just do? What are we doing? He started this streak.
I fucking loved it. I laughed my ass off as soon as after this initial shock wore off, because it's like, what the fuck? These assholes don't give a shit. Like, that is the best. Like, just like sticking barely within the rules, but not giving a shit. Like, it's fine. This will be great.
No.
You know?
Oh my God.
And we didn't do that shit normally. It wasn't, that was more annoyance style, actually.
Yeah, right.
That musical.
That's right.
Well, Walsh stole the show directly from Annoyance.
From Annoyance,
I
yeah.
always give it up for them. We created our own version. The idea of doing a splatter show was something
Yeah.
Annoyance had already done, but we built ours from scratch. We really did.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
But yeah, we stole.
Not
stole
just
the
because
concept.
I wasn't in it most of the
mostly
time.
art.
That show, it was like you should do that show to just like normal black people. What the fuck?
Jerry presents. Jerry Meyer presents Kilgore. So, because then they'll be like, oh, this should be fun, and then it's just people getting beat to death with dildos and pregnant naked ladies jumping on stage, beating them with the fucking fake umbilical cord or whatever the hell else was going on.
You just told your father. I would love for my father to see that.
My favorite effect in that show.
They probably think it was
when
Satan.
they
They'd probably
made-
think it was like a Satan thing.
Of course, yeah. They'd be like, I don't know why you did that. I don't know why that's happening, but it's satanic and it needs to stop.
Oh,
It's like that's like in how Nunez. Now Nunez isn't that like that about theater or anything, but he's very religious and like sometimes.
Oh, he's scared of the devil stuff.
That's mostly it. He's scared of the devil.
Yeah.
Like he was really indoctrinated with that because he's still, and I make fun of him because it's also ghosts. Like he thinks that's real.
Come on now.
I forget about it. Just
I
these
have no
Catholic
tolerance
boys
for
grow up
ghosts.
way too late.
I have no tolerance for ghosts or people who see them.
I have absolutely no.
Interesting.
Man, I grew up with a big fear of all that stuff, of demons and ghosts and all that, and now I just have no tolerance for any of that. I don't believe in it. It's all ridiculous.
I don't roll
to me.
with that.
No.
Not watching any ghost
one time
shows.
I was just at some point I was like, what am I afraid of? I'm always like I was afraid mostly of someone coming in the house and killing me. But
yeah,
it was never and so I'm like, you don't believe in ghosts. You tried to believe in ghosts. You don't believe in ghosts. So what's the problem? And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like I don't like somewhere in early high school, you're just like, there's ghosts don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. No, it's just. But you know what I realized? You know what I realized, guys, is this: that the story of Jesus is the ultimate ghost story. They never pitch the Jesus story as a ghost story, but that's really what it is.
Right.
Because he comes back and he has all this shenanigans with the apostles. For what? For like 3 days, right, Jerry? Didn't he rage for 3 days?
Yes.
Just showing up, scaring people, visiting them, calling them out on their bullshit.
Well, people weren't necessarily always scared of ghosts. I mean, that's kind of like more of a modern trope of like, oh, the dead are it used to be like some dead bother you, some don't. Some are friendly. Then it became like, oh, they're all bad.
Well, in Hamlet,
I hate to say this, but like when you just talked about it.
What?
No, go ahead. Talk about. I was going to talk about ghosts. Like Jesus.
Hamlet.
Jesus as a ghost story it was really fun to think about just now. Because it's just like a kind of a revenge. It's like a revenge fantasy. Like he'll just like smash through someone's fucking, door, and then like in the middle of the night, you're like, ah! You must not covet your neighbor's wife.
With holes in his hands. It is
just
like
do
that,
some
though.
really shitty,
Remember
shitty
what
stuff.
you did
or
to
like,
me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Revenge.
that'd be kind of cool.
Well, my point was that in Shakespeare, when the ghost comes, nobody's afraid. They're interested in what does it have to say. But that's all showbiz, because like I noticed that in Star Wars, that when Obi-Wan Kenobi shows up as a ghost to Luke Skywalker, Luke is completely unfazed by the fact that his dead friend showed up to visit him. All he cares about is the whole from your point of view. He's like, so from a certain point of view, I was telling the truth. He's unfazed by the ghost factor. He's just pissed that he lied to him about his father.
You lied.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he wanted to fuck Princess Leia for a couple of years, and he's barely phased by that.
Come on, people got to let that go. He made that once on an ice planet, and everybody drags it. Just got to drag it through the mud forever. One time. No one can let it go. Come on.
And then
It's Luke Skywalker.
there's cut scenes where Leia is talking to the robot doctor who ended up putting Luke's fake hand on Luke.
Robot doctor.
She's like, "Is he okay?" And she goes, "Is he good below the belt?" He's like, "Don't worry about that, princess."
Can he still
about that?
Can he still fuck?
So they really were pushing that romance angle.
Well, it had to be George
Really
Lucas didn't think about it, or he really was like, let's just really throw them off. Let's just really throw them off, where they are really surprised that that's his sister.
When you're a kid, it's kind of like you're thinking like, I want her to be with Han, or you want her to be with Luke. So they probably had a thing where like, fuck, who are we going to choose? And they're like, we'll choose one, but the other one won't be a loser because it's her brother.
So you think it was really like, because it always seemed like, well, George Lucas says, I had the story in my head.
I don't know.
I always assumed that he had the brother and sister in his head, like he had the whole story in his head for the whole time. But you're saying that when they got to that, they was like, oh, well, that is weird. But let's make him his brother. Let's make her brother.
Because you do, in hoping, on those road movies, like with Bing Crosby, and what's his face?
Bob Hope. And they're like,
he always wanted the lady, and then Bob Hope never got her, so he was the loser. It was like, oh well,
right.
Bob Hope will still do okay, But in this epic thing, when you're a kid, it's like they got to get married,
right?
I don't know.
I didn't like Han Solo. I was just like, no, man, you're a fucking, like you go around the galaxy and shit, and you're not good for Leia. Leia needs a young.
He stuck to the. You were thinking of like early incarnations of his earlier personality. He was a pirate.
Yeah,
but
a pirate. Fucking
people grow.
Walking around with a dog, like going around the galaxy with a dog, like
Yeah,
kind of
very
stealing
intelligent
stuff.
dog. Still can't speak though.
Smuggling. No, it's not good. Not good for a princess.
Wow, you had the wisdom.
That's another thing. How does Chewbacca understand perfect English language, but then has to howl throughout, like whatever he's like hungry?
It's because he doesn't have the palate for it. He doesn't have the palate. He's got to. That's the best he can do. He can't speak English.
You could even that you could squeeze out.
Well, here's the thing. They always talked about people speaking Wookiee, and that was the language they called it. They called it Wookiee, so it was just like speaking human. But they call it, you speak Wookiee, but I never saw anybody else speaking Wookiees except Wookiees. You never saw anybody else growling at them.
Like Han Solo's like, I'm not going to learn how to speak that fucking asshole language.
Yeah, don't talk to you in English.
I'm not going to speak dog. I'm not going to speak dog. Does he understand English? Perfectly. Well, all right. I don't need to hear him. Actually, that's perfect.
Maybe Mel Brooks should have had John Candy make up some dumb Hebrew language for his barf character. I
Say that
thought it was
again.
beneath Candy. I gotta say, I thought the barf character was beneath John Candy in Spaceballs.
I thought he was better than Spaceballs. Yeah, but
I thought so
you know,
too.
he's also a movie star that was making $1 million to be in a beach movie, or so
Yeah,
you
well,
kind of
he's
had to go for
beloved.
it.
I thought it was lucky for the movie to get him, but I didn't think it was making him look very good.
He was a trooper for doing that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Moranis came off
But
his dark
well,
helmet. But I
Moranis
thought
was in it, so that probably helped. Sure.
I guess. I was not enthusiastic about the barf character.
Yeah, no, it was one of the minuses in that movie.
Definitely, because I'm a
Yeah,
huge
because it's a
John
one
Candy
it's a one
fan.
joke.
I had
Like you
high
don't want
expectations.
to. It's one joke, right? It's just he's
Yeah, you mean
more
like
of a dog,
a one
and his
joke
name
like
is Barf.
yogurt? Yogurt? I am yogurt. Oh no. Shit.
So,
Who let this guy make a sci-fi comedy?
well, Mel Brooks, why did he cast? He probably cast that, right? So,
Of course.
I mean, who else would you
Oh
cast
yeah.
as the dog?
He got Joan Rivers to play C-3PO.
That is ridiculous.
Forgot about that stroke of genius.
I did.
She didn't even show up. All she had to do was go to the audio booth because she didn't play the actual role.
She wasn't in the suit.
Hell,
Why you want me to get in that suit? Yeah, you gotta get in the fucking suit and fucking.
that was probably the last film role she ever had.
Yeah.
The film? Yeah, probably.
I was
She didn't
watching.
do many
I was
movies.
watching this thing
after
with about George Carlin. It was the guy, the director of Mall Rats. Yeah, Mallrats. This movie Mallrats.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about they cast George Carlin, and it's his part is a guy who gives blowjobs for a ride. He's not in Mallrats. He's in another crazier movie. He's in like whatever the sequel was, like Bill and Bob Get Fucked.
Oh, Bill and Ted Get Screwed?
No, not even that. It's you'll figure it out.
I'm gonna
That
make
was
I
a.
just don't.
comeback role for Carlin.
I'm gonna make a poster
That
for
movie
Bill and Bob Gets Fucked. So you can look for that with their faces like this.
Bill and Bob Get Fucked. Yeah, Kevin Smith and the other guy. And he's like, and then Carlin was like, he was basically saying that Carlin was like, Carlin really wanted to be was an actor, so he was just thrilled not to do stand up, so
Really?
he would take any role, and of course he's terrible, too, and I'm like,
Well, because acting is
it's so funny how someone
writing.
how he can be such a funny writer comedian and then just like
Never
not
could
have
do
a clue
it.
how to act.
No, he did that show on Fox for a while. That
Just
was like the
doing an
best he
opposite
did.
thing.
Yeah, what was the premise there? Did he work at a bar or something?
Something like that.
Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. It wasn't. It was a little uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
Now, situation comedy's not the world for him. Maybe he could have done a one-camera show. Down the road, possibly. If you did like a Louis kind of situation,
Still tough
But
though.
no,
You gotta
it
act.
was the later part of his career.
Like if you think
Really, the crown jewels of his career were those HBO specials. He kept doing them, and they kept getting more and more interesting and more satirical. and more of a skewer of American culture while being funny at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought those
Yeah,
HBO
brilliant.
specials were fab. We all gathered round. The whole family got together to watch those.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was more of the element for him. He must have had a good movie in there somewhere. Did Carlin have any movies that were decent? He wasn't a movie guy. You know, he had the Bill and Ted stuff, but beyond that, not much. Like Richard Pryor really gave it a go in the movies, and he did
Yeah.
have a couple of hits.
Well, he wanted to be a movie star. Fabulous too.
He succeeded. He did. He had those Gene Wilder movies, which are massive hits.
his best movie
And
was
some other
Lost
stuff.
Highway.
You know, who? I don't think Richard Pryor was in Lost Highway.
He was. You
Was
missed
he?
that?
You sure about that?
You missed Richard Pryor in the movie?
Well, I haven't seen Lost Highway in a while. Who
He's He's like a mechanic or something.
Yeah, he was like
Sure, you're thinking of Lost Highway?
he's
Jerry, am I right? Am I?
Isn't he like? Is he in a wheelchair by then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's that.
forgot all about that. I watched all of his movies. He did because he had some stinkers too. The one where he was a bus driver.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed in JoJo Dancer, but I saw somebody on the Criterion Closet the other day really talking up JoJo Dancer, and I thought, fuck, I should go rewatch it. I was just a kid when I saw it.
I mean, the thing is, it's like it's not autobiographical, but it is. You know, like I think that I'm saying like, oh, it's not, you know, before telling it's not autobiographical, but it really was. Like it really takes away from it. He should have just said like, it's a retelling of my life, but it's just
Wait,
fictionalized.
Jerry, your sound is all of a sudden on
You're-
a crack.
Yeah,
really?
you're all glitched out.
Your audio,
Yeah, you must-
went totally cracked.
Maybe you guys are covering your microphones?
No, my microphone's on my camera. It's probably
No,
just the.
Oh. No, I think it's your headphones.
It's not coming
No,
from my
it's the-
microphone. It's coming from my camera.
No, it's the Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're not wearing your-
The Wi-Fi is coming in and out.
Okay,
It's
well-
it's Wi-Fi.
I can't really see that well, so I'm trying to tell. I thought Jerry had headphones on like you.
I guess JoJo Dancer was semi-autobiographical because Pryor's real story is insane. He must have toned it down for the movies. Usually they bump everything up. He must have taken it down a couple notches.
Well,
he had a hard
I think
life.
he's still. That whole thing about his mother was a prostitute and he lived in the whorehouse. I mean, I think that's in there.
Is it? Well, again, I haven't seen that movie in 40 years, 50 years, 40.
I remember as a
yeah.
kid though, it was like highly regarded. You know, like I think Siskel and Ebert gave it a good review.
They did.
That
That was
kind
like
of thing.
that was his opus.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
the first serious thing he'd ever done. Yeah, I don't know.
Jerry,
People
you're
remember
chopping
him.
up, man.
Oh no.
You're I can't hear you. You're chopping up. You're chopped up.
Yeah, it's super choppy. Should we call it a day?
It's getting late. We can.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
if Jerry doesn't have audio, we're going to have to fix or fly.
It's been a couple
Well-
hours anyway.
That's no problem. All right, Jerry. Great, Jerry, Delaney. Great to see you guys. We'll do it again next
You
week.
too. Let's do it again.
Let's do it and do it again.
Okay. Peace, everybody.